And then Pete gave them a TED Talk about how much he has had it with the military, which is too woke, too sloppy, too badly, too obese. He's not wrong about that last one for sure. Well, no, these are facts. Almost 70% of the military, did you know this, is overweight. The song the Marines sing now is From the Halls of Montezuma to the Shores of Triple X. Well, you know, come on. But Pete says that shit ends now. We are changing our motto from Semper Fi to No Fat Chicks. And by the way, I love this. He included the generals in this. There's too many fat generals and admirals walking around the halls of the Pentagon. Are you kidding? This is supposed to be an exercise in morale building. Because nothing pumps you up like taking a 20.
Yes, I posted this few hours ago, but something happened on this platform. I don't know. I had to take down that video. For people who never saw that clip, it is extremely concerning when topics like this are raised and at the end of the day, you are being suppressed. This was a very simple video, nothing controversial. I had to re-edit the video from beginning to the end.
They just called all the generals together. Have you seen that?
Yeah, Aghast did. But supposedly what they're doing is they want to get all the generals together and give them some sort of a moral and ethical mandate.
Yeah.
Like preparedness. This is what we want the military to be.
No more beards and stuff.
No fucking politics and no more identity politics. The most important thing is be ready. Yeah. Be ready, have the best, most capable military that's humanly possible given the resources that we have today. This is what our goal is. This is what our job is.
And they needed to call everybody together to do that?
Good afternoon, everyone. So today, I just wanted to come on here and tell you that if you're a leader, it doesn't, any type of leader, right? You could be a drill sergeant like me, a section NCO, a platoon sergeant, a first sergeant. And if you think that you are going to have the capability to be disrespectful, to be malicious, to be spiteful with people's careers, with the people that work for you in general, just remember, karma knows your name. And sooner or later, she's going to charge you. So treat people with kindness and respect.
To be in the military, according to them, I've watched a lot of videos. What this lady said on this video is perfectly okay. Before signing up, you knew that this place has rules and you have to follow those rules. It is not just anywhere that you have to just go, you do anyhow. Before it was not like that. A lot of people still appreciated the secretary for taking up this decision with Libras. They took it to another level, like it is a controversial issue. I don't understand why it is important. We dive into it. Even Joe Rogan put out a comment on this. I don't know if you've seen this.
Wouldn't it be easier just to shave and put on a patrol cap? I mean, I guess it could be easier to shave, but actually it's more easier not to shave because I don't have to do it. The same thing with the patrol cap.
Thank you for bringing the standards back in our military services. And I'm glad that you started from the top with the generals. It's very shameful for generals to walk around obese. They need to set the standard for their subordinates in the military. Now, what I want to speak about, all these soldiers on social media crying about they need to shave their beards. I have 11 combat tours on my belt. I've been in Muslim countries. And all the Muslims are clean shaving. Clean shave. And the only ones that have beards are the imams. Same for the Hindus. So this religious preference is bull. Number one, Secretary protecting your life, because how are you going to seal your protective mask when you get hit with gas? Then you putting your other soldiers at risk because they got to go rescue your dumb because you failed to follow orders. Secretary bringing back standards, and you need to follow those standards and look out for one another.
Not only people complaining about beers, there are women like, why will I remove nails? Why will I remove eyelashes? Things like that. It is concerning. There is one thing I see on social media, allowing these people to be putting out TikTok videos with uniforms. Sometimes to me is extremely disturbing. Something needs to be done about this also. For people who never saw this video, take a look at what Meghan Kelly had to say.
In the American Armed Forces, you should have to be in shape. There should be a bare minimum of fitness. And Pete is living. He's practicing what he preaches. Now, this came as very unfortunate news for the women of The View. You're shocked, I know, given the elite form that the women are in over on that set. But I think everyone was asking themselves, what does Joy Behar think? And I have the answer.
The newly renamed Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, spoke to U.S. military leaders from around the world to lay out his very retro vision for our armed forces. Why is he obsessed with fat?
Yeah, and fitness and...
Fat, yeah, and fitness. Add Sonny Hostins too.
I mean, what do you mean, why? We're talking about a military here. We're talking about a fighting force. Like, this is you're going to be intimidated by people that look like me. That's the problem. You don't want that in your military. You want someone who's going to step up and provide that image.
I could do it, according to this.
I won't necessarily speak to that, but I'm very lost on the fact that it seems like it's become a Republican Party position out of nowhere that the U.S. military is weak. We're the greatest fighting force in the history of mankind. U.S. troops are deployed in over 100 countries around the world. We are also a deterring force. The idea of American military strength is that you avoid having to get into wars by being as strong as we are. And I know that people think it's weak or it's woke to say that our diversity is our strength, but the thing that's so unique about the United States, we are the most diverse nation on earth, and we have the most diverse military on earth, socioeconomically, racially, religiously.
So what's this about?
All of these people from different backgrounds come together and fight for the American values. So I don't understand why we have to denigrate the military to try to talk about...
As a bold and necessary reset for the military, finally cutting through the woke bureaucracy that is being strangled, our war fighters, his then directive announced alongside President Trump rightly prioritize combat readiness, discipline, and a no-nonsense approach to national security over politically correct nonsense like DEI offices and distractions by renaming the Department of Defense, the Department of War, and demanding loyalty to a mission first equals. Head is restoring the military core purpose to intimidate, harm, and defeat enemies, not to cut the identity politics, while liberals clutch their purse over the blunt reality. This is exactly the kind of leadership needed to rebuild a strong, unified force ready to confront real enemies, right?
I'm actually really befuddled by why he did that. The optics were terrible, meaning all of our top military brass are all in one place, and we spent $6 million to get them there. That didn't make a lot of sense to me. It also didn't make a lot of sense to me that he was saying that he was going to toughen physical standards and review the anti-hazing policy by sort of implementing a hazing policy. And then also he said he was going to return to the highest male standard for combat positions because the troops were fat.
Yeah.
I don't understand how that was supposed to be an uplifting message for our military.
Maybe he's referring to Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, it was really a bizarre thing. He started talking about woke DEI policies. By the way, there are no gender quotas in the military. By the way, he fired more than a dozen military leaders, many of them people of color and women. He fired the chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff, General Charles Brown Jr., who is African American. Yeah. He fired the first woman to command the Navy, Admiral Alyssa Franchetti. I don't understand the sort of hypocrisy of firing these people, having all these people meet together and then denigrating them.
Yes, I don't know why these people will always find fault in anything linking to Trump. I understand that they will always do that. Now taking a look at the whole thing, while Libras are criticizing this, like, oh, this meeting was just called on to fat shame these people. To me, I don't see that as a problem. Calling people to action, like you need to be ready at any time, you need to be in shape, that is not something controversial. These are things we usually say indoors. You need just one person to call it out. And when you do that, they will start calling you names. And this is exactly what we are witnessing now. The view grumbling, putting out ridiculous segments like this about this whole thing, I don't understand. But TDS is real. So when I see people talking like this, I have no issue because that has always been how it is.
Vice President Maybelline, a tale even a 5-year-old wouldn't believe.
Celebrities are rallying to his cause, saying this is a First Amendment assault being carried.
My ratings aren't very good. Last time I checked, your ratings were somewhere between a hair in your salad and chlamydia. This is the first interview that you've done since the unthinkable happened, and it was
right because I generally don't. I give interviews. I don't do them.
JD Vance should be the next president of the United States.
I want to appreciate you. Thank you for always supporting me, sharing out my videos. I'm going to end here. As of the short, please, you can skip.
Not happening at the moment.
Yeah. President Obama
is blatant censorship
because he says he has a team of fact checkers.
The FCC want them to stop fooling around with my right to say what I feel.
Americans, it's a part of who we are.
Because that is really something that didn't happen before.
Does anybody else watch The View? Because I think there's...
I'm going to say one.
Look, there are certain rules of free speech that we must all abide by. But in case anyone needs a refresher, we're going to go over the rules again.
He does not have a right to have a television show where he lies his ass off to the American people.
Well, there are repercussions to spreading lies.
Somebody to get up there, not
all the same people that are in these polite...
I disagree with what Gavin Newsom said, that he doesn't